Well, folks, for now, focus on getting this exhaust off of here, okay? So we're gonna grind these off. Welcome back. Today we have quite the show for you, so stay tuned and, well, it's gonna be quite the adventure. Alright guys, so yeah, we did that. We got the sway bar off and the remaining strut, or shock I suppose. Now we're going to move on. We need a 30mm socket, deep well, to fit on that right there, alright? 30mm. So for anybody that's unfamiliar with how to extract an axle from the hub, sometimes they get a little bit sticky in there. Sometimes they just don't want to come out at all. Other times they might even try to just fall out. Whack it right in the middle of the hammer. There it goes. And pop her loose. Well, I went ahead and pulled this axle entirely on accident, actually. I just kind of grabbed it with my hand and gave it a yank and it came right out. So that one came out easy. I went over to this side and attempted the same method to no avail. So we're gonna have to figure out something on that. Also, let's pull the rack and pinion off here. Just because we can, and that's gonna free up a little bit of space. Maybe we can get to that axle that we're having a little bit of trouble on. There we go. Stick this on the old shelf over here. Okay, so I took a few pieces off here. We obviously removed the exhaust, pulled the other axle off, and got the rack and pinion out of the way. That out of the way, there was a little metal shield here, and it just kind of blocked the view and made it hard to see. But now that it's kind of open, I realize I can take this and put it right up underneath there and give it a little tap tap. Maybe. There we go. Yeah. Tap tap. And prepare for this. So we're gonna get this in position now. All right, let's see if this works. All right, without making too much of a mess. Alright, we got it oozing out now. Alright, mission accomplished, guys. Like that. I believe with that axle off, we have the engine completely removed from the subframe. There's nothing attaching it to it anymore other than the two mounts. And when the guys get here that want to look at it and buy it, when they want to take it, we'll unhook that. Probably back their truck right up there and drop it in the bed and away they go. But don't worry, when all that happens, I'm going to make sure I film it because it could get eventful. Who knows? And this has been and still is my least anticipated part of the whole project. So what's going to have to happen is I'm pretty much just going to take everything out. It seems like the easiest option. Other than piecing little pieces out here and there, thinking, I don't know. I think I'm just going to take everything out of this. but I need to get all of this bracketry off to get back in here. And that's the problem back in here, is I don't know what stays and what goes, what I can keep, what I can get rid of. I know the pedal comes off because I've already played with it a little and got it to come off there. So the brake pedal, that's easy, but now I've got to take all this bracketry off. The brackets around it is connected to other things and other things and other things, which is kind of what leads me to just thinking removing the whole thing is the easiest process. I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, I've done zero research on this either. I asked a buddy a couple of questions. He was helpful, but that was like 3 steps ago. So I haven't asked anybody about the steering column, this area. There might be some information online, people doing manual swaps on these. People have done just about everything to these. So I hope maybe I can find a little something on that. But regardless, we're going to move forward. I know right now we've got wires that are connected all the way across. Now, the reason I'm removing the wires is because when I get the new stuff installed, I'm going to have a mirror up here that's got like the temperature and all that stuff in the corner of it. This car doesn't have that. I've got my CD player. It's already wired in on the other one. I may do a better job of wiring it because I did it like 10 years ago in a campground parking lot. But so I'm going to put that in. But the things like automatic windows, I don't have automatic windows in the other doors, and I'm going to keep the other doors the crank ones. So I don't want to see, you know, a window light or something on the heads-up display. I'm just basically trying to turn this into my other car, but a rust-free version. And you know, they do say that the best way to learn is by doing. So that's exactly what I'm about to do here. Let's get to digging, guys. Alright, so that wasn't nearly as bad as I was thinking it was going to be, or made it out to be. Let me explain. You've got 2 bolts right here that go straight up and in, and then you've got one on the side that goes back and through, and that's all that holds the steering column in place. So what that means is you take the front 2 out, and you have to support it as you pull the 3rd one out, because it just wants to fall out of there, okay? It's going to fall, and you're going to catch it, and you're basically just going to pull it straight back. You're going to make sure there's nothing attached there. You want to pull that gasket out of that hole in the firewall, and the whole thing comes out. But I appreciate you sticking with me so far. I hope you're enjoying this journey as much as I am. Remember, like, subscribe, hit it at the bottom. We've got a lot more coming up. I'm going to start doing some interior things soon, working on upholstery and things of that nature. Gotta look into getting carpet. Anybody know how to get some good carpet, form-fittable carpet to these things? Let me know. I'd really be interested in it. So I was getting ready to dump this out, and I'm going to show you guys how nasty. Look at that. Watch this pour. Yeah, there's some chunks floating in that for sure. yeah. We'll just get us a new one of those. Don't need this stained tarnished yellow thing, do we? All right, guys, so dashboard is now out. Mission success, guys. That's awesome. Okay, so let's take a look at this thing. It's definitely got some rough filter going on in there. See through there. We'll get it to the back side. I don't want to flip it over yet because there's still some AC refrigerant in there, or coolant, possibly, yeah, coolant, and I don't know. We've just got a bunch of things on this. I don't want to flip it over yet. So on the firewall, there's all of these screws that went around. I thought those were securing the back of all that. Went ahead and took them off because I'm going to pull this plate off anyway. It's got this little spike over here covering this hole, and that hole is where the master cylinder for the clutch is going to go whenever I install the clutch pedal on the inside. Also, the bracketry on the inside changes, so that's why we had to remove this. Okay, so with all of the corresponding bolts out of the outside there, this should just pop out as we give it a tug here. This whole piece of metal should come loose. Now I may have missed the bolt, so give me a moment and I'll get checked. Okay, so they got me, but figured it out pretty easily. There is 2 more bolts down in there. So 2 more 10 millimeters under the cowling, under the wiper mechanism, and that should release the top of that plate right there. That will in turn allow this thing to become a manual transmission. Okay, let's try that again now, shall we? A little more success this time. Yeah, see? You take all the bolts out, things just fall apart. It's crazy how that works. I still got it mildly attached with things around the edge here. There we go. Got this wire and this boot. We'll figure the boot out in a minute. Anyway, this is the spike I was talking about. We want to get that spike out of there because that's where the push rod for the clutch is going to come through the firewall. So now we made a big old gaping hole in her. Look at that, boys. Yeah, so instead of pulling it out of there, I decided to just go ahead and, there we go, unhook it from the frame. There was ground wire going to the frame up there. So we just went ahead and unhooked that and pull it all the way out because there's a good chance that those things are going to come with the other car and I can just throw all this back in there as it is. And this is a pretty interesting little piece here. I mean, I've never quite seen such a thing. Got a got a lot going on. Now behind this is metal, obviously. I'm just gonna leave that like that. It's gonna be too much trouble to get it apart, but yeah. Little holes and cutouts, and there's this thing you can press out here, and not sure why, but might be universal. Maybe you can use this for the clutch pedal as well. And it's just, you know, it's got a little punch out for the automatic version that you can push, and then yeah, the piece of metal on the back side. I don't know, but yeah. All right, looking good, guys. You know, I'd like to weigh this car right now. I would imagine it's significantly lighter than it was a month ago. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Apparently, yeah, you get it down to this point, and it's really easy to pull that stuff out. All the foam. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, moving along. Stay tuned to the next episode. We will be taking the sound deadening out of the floor, and that's going to be quite the process. It's going to require a lot of heating and a lot of scraping, so prepare for the blisters. I know I am, and I'll see you then.